I've just experienced so many things that I've never thought I'd ever be able to experience. I knew when I was gonna be a wrestler, I was gonna change the cycle, this kind of violent, destructive, aggressive, angry at life cycle where it's like, you think you're set up to fail. You don't think there's success at the end of it. You just think like, well, this is what I'm gonna be. But I didn't think that. I was like, no, this isn't gonna be my life. I'm gonna make something of it, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be the WWE.
Hey, you know me. Well, you know me as Liv, but my real name's Gianna.
Oh my God, Gianna.
You see these cameras? They have been following me for the last 18 months. What a roller coaster it's been. This story is full of twists and turns. And the ending? Well, that's a surprise too. So let me take you on a ride. The ride of my life. My journey in WWE has been anything but usual, from the Performance Center to NXT. And of course, being a member of the Riot Squad with Ruby and Sarah. They're my best friends. We had some success from Evolution to Super Showdown in Australia and even WrestleMania. But if we're gonna tell this story, I think it's best we start here, at the Superstar Shakeup in Montreal.
We weren't ready. We weren't ready for it. That was a very sad day. It was a hard day.
No one told us anything. We thought we were on our way to being tag team champions. And then we go to TV and Liv's being moved to SmackDown, and we just were like, it was just unexpected because we felt like we had so much left to do together. You know, we barely even scratched the surface. I get the goosebumps. We were just getting like, you know, our groove. And then that was it. It was gone.
If superstars and teams are split up, so
Know where you're going with that? That's not an option.
Like, there was no payoff. There was no, like, closure for us.
Yeah, it was definitely unexpected.
It was just a day, man. Like, it's a day I still, like, don't know quite how I feel about it. It's still not over. That day is still not over.
I felt a little bit like it was my fault because I had to go get surgery. They knew what it's like to travel the roads with someone and only know this company with them and only know this world with them, and that was gonna change very abruptly. I felt for Liv because she was going to SmackDown on her own.
And so there you go. 2 years with the Riot Squad, and just like that, it was over. We never got to the heights we hoped. We didn't become tag team champs. We broke up.
Just found out that I'm going to SmackDown, and I know I look really sad. I am a little bit sad, but I'm happy. I just, when I started this journey, I didn't want to be in a tag team, you know? And I didn't expect, like, Ruby and Sarah to just become such a huge part of my life, like my best friend, my sisters, and now that I'm on this road with them, I can't imagine ever getting off of it. And I'm excited for new opportunities, you know, for them and for me, but the squad is, like, so real. You guys don't even know. And I'm just gonna miss them, and I want to be with them, but I'm excited to go back to SmackDown Live, where it all started for me, and I'm gonna miss my friends. And so that's how I feel right now. I just wish that we could be together forever.
But it wasn't forever, and that was okay. This was the chance I had been waiting for, ever since I was a little girl.
Every
family has issues. Like I'm 5 years old and no one's checking to see that I've done my homework, or no one's checking to see that I'm even passing school, you know? And I was like left to my own devices really, really, really young, when I didn't even have a grasp of like what being a responsible adult is supposed to be. I had no one telling me anything. I just was watching what was in front of me, which was my brothers who were angry and upset at life and destructive and mean and like abusive. And my mom, who has all these kids by herself, just trying to hold it together as best as she can.
It was hard, financially, very hard. I was working 60 hours a week. So most of the times we were above water. But there were times when it just didn't work.
My mom, who was a waitress, worked hard. Working 60 hours a week, my mom tried. She had to. In 1994, my father passed away of a heart attack, just 3 months before I was born. So I was raised by a single mother, and it was us. All 7 of us, including my brothers and sisters. I lived in the suburbs. I went to a good school, Elmwood Park Memorial Middle/High School, because that's what it was a middle/high school. We'd walk to parties, and I was a cheerleader. I'd do the football games, and my social life was the most normal part about my life, you know? It's like, not even like my friends really knew what my life was at home. They didn't know the other side of me, which was like the girl that's in her room with wrestling on the loudest it can go because of the commotion that's going on outside the door. A secret. It was like a secret. You know, my home life sucks and it's a secret. But it also was like my normal. So I was able to really take it on the chin because that was my normal. I knew it wasn't normal, but it was my normal, and my tolerance for it grew so high that I appeared to be okay, you know? And didn't realize how much I needed someone to like give me some structure. And it's just something that I was lucky enough to realize when I was so young. WWE gave me a purpose. I watched it, knew I was gonna do it, and so I shaped my life like, how am I gonna get there? You know, like when there's just things that you just like can't explain, but you can feel it. You just can't explain why you feel this way, but you just, something inside of you. I was like 5 years old and I put on WWE, my brothers were watching it, and I watched it and I just was like, I was like, whoa. You know, I just knew like, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be in the WWE. And I watched and I thought they were amazing. I thought the physicality, the stories, I was completely in awe by it. So much that my brothers and I, we built like a little makeshift ring in the backyard, and we would wrestle and we'd do entrances. And it was their dream too.
Ever since she was a little girl, it was always about wrestling. Wrestling was a big thing in our household. We didn't have much at that time, so I built a ring for her in the backyard with old cushions from the lounge chairs, sticks from a pear tree, and I went to the store and I bought 200 feet of laundry line. It became the after-school event. And that's where they wrestled. That's where she started. And she's been wanting to be a wrestler forever.
That dream became my mission when I dropped out of high school in 2010 during my sophomore year. Got my GED, and across the street from the GED Center was the Hooters. And I was like, damn, you know, I just dropped out of high school. I need to make money. I need to start getting things going. So I was like, I'm gonna work at Hooters. I went in there and I applied, I got hired, and I loved it. Hooters is great. It gives so many opportunities to women. There's so many little things in Hooters aside from just, you know, being a server. There's the beauty pageants and there's the calendars. Like I was in the calendar. Hooters not only gave me a job, but gave me an opportunity. something I needed at that time. It was the first time in my life I had responsibility. Even if it was as simple as making sure your wings were hot and your beer was cold, I took it and ran with it. I started working out and got in the best shape of my life with the help of Joe DeFranco, who has trained high-level professional athletes, including Triple H. Soon after, I got a tryout with the one place I had dreamed about, WWE. In the summer of 2014, I got the call from WWE's head of talent development, Canyon Ceman. I seen an email from Canyon, and he's like, your phone's not working, call me. And I'm like, oh, shit, I thought I was in trouble, I didn't know. So then I call him, and I'm like, hello, sir, like, sorry. He's just like, oh, it's okay, how's your weekend going? It was 4th of July weekend, and I was like, oh, it's going good. And he was like, I just wanted to call. He was like, I just wanted to call to give you some good holiday news. We want to give you a contract. And I was just like so blown away. I was so blown away. I couldn't believe it. And I reacted just like how I'm reacting now. I started crying. And my brother knew from that, just from me crying, that I got signed. So my brother's in the background screaming. Canyon's on the phone like, do you need a minute? Because I'm hysterically crying. I'm like, no, I'm okay. I'm listening.
And all of us went crazy. We were just nuts. We were like waiting for the cops to come because it was just crazy. We were so happy because she wanted it so bad.
And from then on, it was just like tunnel vision, like going to WWE. And that's, that's how it happened. I did it. I was 19 years old and heading to Orlando, Florida, to the Performance Center as the newest WWE signee. I can't paint the PC in a better light, that to me was like my home, I learned everything at the PC. And the coaches were so patient with me because I was a 19-year-old girl that didn't know, thought she knew everything. So they were patient. PC is a pure place in my mind. It really shaped my work ethic. We worked so hard. Your first couple months learning how to work are like intense. People don't realize how hard it is. I couldn't really walk. I was tired all the time. My body was so beat up, and I've gotta like be focused because you're retaining so much information. It was so hard. It was just very pivotal years for me in my just development of being an adult. I know what you guys think when you look at me, that I got here based on my looks, that I have no talent or drive. The mirror room at the Performance Center was kind of like your mirror at home. That's why it's called the mirror. Like go home, look in your bathroom mirror, and talk to yourself. And see the faces that you make and see how you say it. Examine what you're looking at, because if you don't like it, fix it. Very, very, very pivotal for learning how to do promos for sure. And they'd go and they'd count how many mirrors you did, and like, oh, you only did like 3 mirrors all month? Do you think you're that good at promos? Because you're not, And it's like, you're held accountable. Like, do your mirrors, you want to get a promos, do your mirrors. And so I was in there all the time. The most fabulous diva in NXT. Even if, I wasn't great, I was in there all the time just talking about what I had for breakfast. And with Aaliyah, just talking shit about everyone.
I'm kind of getting subliminal messages here.
Okay. It's a tool. Learn how to talk and learn to see what other people see when you talk. Bye. In 2015, I finally had my first match. It wasn't televised, but the cameras did capture me afterwards. Let's just say my debut, or whatever you call it, was the first of many learning experiences.
So proud. That was crazy. Oh man. That was so much fun.
Over the next 3 years, I tried different characters and techniques. Every year, I got better in the ring and on the mic. Then the next step came. on November 21st, 2017, that date is forever for us. We got it tattooed, and we were in this together.
I went from like being there with Bailey, Sasha, Charlotte to being like the longest tenured person there. We finally got called up and we had no idea what show we were going on. I got a mass email with yada, 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 yada. We need you to come to Raw to do a dark match. And then we show up and we get sat in a room that no one knows we're in all day. And Triple H and Mark Carano walk in and they look at Sonya and Mandy and they just tell them, you're gonna debut on Raw tomorrow with Paige as the heel faction. And they're like, oh my God. And they look at me, Ruby, and Sarah, and it's like, you're gonna debut on SmackDown as a heel faction. And we're just like, okay.
He looked at us and said, congratulations, you've made it to the main roster. And all of us are like internally dying because we're just shaking. We're so excited, but we just want to remain cool and like calm and collect, you know? And we're just like sitting there and he can see it in our eyes. Like he can see that we want to just freak out. And so he stands up and he goes, you guys can freak out now. And as soon as he gave us permission, we all shot up and just started hugging each other and crying and yelling.
And the Riot Squad was born. It was Ruby, Sarah, and me. Not only did we bond on screen, but off screen too. Traveling the world together, we quickly became huge parts of each other's lives.
We're like, how can we make the most out of this? So we went to the ring every single week and made the most out of whatever we did. And we had a hell of a time doing it.
It's just weird how we meshed so fast and just how strong our bond became. We were way more alike than we ever could have thought. You know, we look completely different. We couldn't look more different, actually. I remember Sarah feeling nervous that I wouldn't feel included in the group, that I wouldn't feel part of, but it just happened so naturally and so fast, you know? I was like, I'm gonna get these girls to like me. And they did. And now I have a lifelong friendship.
Okay, that was a lot. But all of that shows you my journey and brings us back to the week the Riot Squad was dissolved. I was sent to a new show, SmackDown Live, or as I call it, SmackDown Live. And now I was on my own.
So before I was in tag team, I didn't think I was a tag team wrestler. I didn't want to be in tag team. And I was like not mad about it, but I was like, damn, you know, I have to share my shot with these two girls. And I did it for 2 years and I fell in love with them.
You're going to have that forever, so then if you ever end up working with those guys as a ready-made story and you've got ready-made rapport, so you'll help each other out when you work together. It's good stuff.
Also, just like I've been like protected, like all my work ethic is split into threes, you know, because I have these two girls with me. But now that it's like solely just based on me, I'm like questioning like my work ethic and my abilities in the ring.
All that's going to change and all that's going to go up is your cardio.
I know.
They treat it as a good thing, and it's just a way to advance you, and you get to work with other people and build those relationships again. And you're young, which means there's a lot of future. You got nothing to worry about.
I didn't see her for weeks and weeks, and I would text her every week. You got anything this week? Nope. Got anything this week? Nope. I keep getting told I have something. I keep getting told I have something big in the works. It just wouldn't happen. But I know both me and Sarah have both tried every week to explain to her. It's gonna happen. They're saving you for something special. It's gonna happen. But we can only tell someone that so many times before we don't believe it ourselves.
I feel confident today.
1 week became 2 weeks, and then a lot of weeks. It was 3 months. And in July 2019, I finally got my opportunity and returned to action against the Queen, Charlotte Flair.
Looks like she's gonna miss out.
text her and call me.
Hey, Tina.
Hey.
What's going on?
Ooh, I'm debuting tonight.
Hey, what?
I'm gonna be on SmackDown tonight.
By yourself?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
You're doing a match?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, Tiana. Your debut. Oh my God.
I know.
Oh my God, all right. I'm acting stupid.
Yeah, just watch it. I love you. I gotta go.
I love you too. Bye.
Bye. I finally made my debut on SmackDown. I spoke up in the town hall meeting. I called Charlotte out and we had a match which ended up to me setting off on a journey to find myself.
Liv Morgan go up against the 8-time champion. Look at Morgan go. I tell you, Morgan can get ahead in a big way tonight if she can knock off Charlotte Flair. I think Charlotte Flair came into this matchup underestimating Liv Morgan.
I absolutely think she did.
Liv Morgan had said to Charlotte Flair, quote, because of people like you, it's why people like me don't get opportunities here on SmackDown Live.
Listen, again, I have a lot of respect for Liv Morgan for coming out here and making her own opportunities, okay? She did.
Charlotte was right. And when I come back, I'm gonna be real. I felt so good. I cried at the end of my match just because I was so happy. That was real tears. I feel like my promo, like my emotions just came naturally, you know what I mean? I'm already ready for my re-debut.
So I had my first singles match, and it was a success. Or so I thought.
He's a part for me. Like, it must be. Where are we?
She's not lost. You think she'd be lost without the Riot Squad, but she's not. She seems even more focused, and I like it. She seems really like she knows where she's going. She's got direction now.
Hello.
Before she could be reliant on the girls, but now she's very focused to herself.
Selfie.
And I can't wait to beat her in the ring tonight!
Don't you ever!
I'm not saying nice things about you, dude.
It was weird, you know, traveling every week, renting cars, getting hotels, going to TV, not knowing anything, and just there's so much uncertainty, you know, because it didn't necessarily feel like it was in my hands. I was ready. Do you not have anything for me? You know, I was ready to go. Obviously, you get paranoid. You're like, am I doing something wrong? Is there something that I don't see? You start like worrying about your job because you don't know why you're not being used. What week is this?
What week is this?
I don't know. I feel like I've been going for a while.
San Antonio. Relax. Pretty good.
I know, right?
I was pitching tons of characters. I was pitching, you know, more dark. In my perfect world, I was gonna play this character that I, you know, worked so hard writing about and studying about, you know, writing out like really deep, dark feelings that I've had, maybe that I suppressed, and revisiting because that's what this character was gonna be. She was gonna be like this tortured soul, but so passionate and just dark, but like beautiful. It was the slowest burn ever. Over the next couple of months, I waited and waited until I got the news in September of 2019. All I got told really was we want like a stripped down Liv. Less makeup, less distraction. So I played it safe and I was like, I'm gonna just go back to blonde. No one's really telling me anything of what this new look should be, so I just took it upon myself and I just dyed my hair blonde.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh boy, oh boy.
I feel like a Pokemon. I just evolved. I don't know what the name is, but this is the final form, I think.
You said it?
Liv Morgan versus Ember Moon in a dark match. I've been off for however many months. I've been going to the PC, I have new moves. I've been watching tons of tape. I have a very good sense of self. Like, I know what I'm doing, I know who I am. I'm gonna have a killer match with Ember Moon. I love working with Ember. She brings out the best in me. She's not scared to go, she's competitive and I'm competitive. So we just have a competitive match.
Okay.
Her name's Ember. Say it right or you're out.
Do I get like a little bit of credit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yay! Oh my god, I have new gear!
Where's my... I had new gear. I knew what I was gonna do. I was super excited. I was back blonde. I just dyed my hair blonde impromptu, didn't tell anyone. And I think I'm gonna have a match with Ember, so I'm ready to show my I'm like, okay, I wanna show everyone, like, look, hey, this is what you've been missing out on this whole entire time. And I'm doing like my pre-match ritual.
You and that new the other side.
Like, I'm about to go out there, like in less than 45 seconds, I'm gonna walk through the curtain.
Hold up, this match is canceled.
Michael, stop it!
Swear to God.
Swear to God.
Then out of nowhere, I just hear Michael Hayes and he's like, Liv can't go out there. And I was like, and I thought I was being like, I thought they were joking with me. I was like, are you just like ribbing me so I'm not ready? You know, I don't know.
Hey, what's going on, Billy?
Hey, Larry. Scotty,
I can't believe this happened. Like 30 seconds before we're supposed to go out, our match gets canceled. So
that was it. It was bizarre. It was bizarre. I was super ready to go perform. And I wasn't allowed out. So I didn't go out. It turned out that I was not supposed to be exposed to this crowd, not in my final debut form. So pretty much I couldn't do this dark match. I'm not to be seen until I debut back on WWE TV. I was shocked, but I was like, it like was encouraging, you know, because the boss didn't want anyone to see me, you know, not on TV in final form. I was like, oh, cool. Like, you know, like I'm not forgotten about, like everyone still cares, you know, like we still care. Like we want my new debut and character to, you know, stay under wraps until it's debuted. So I kind of took it as like a good thing, like, oh, cool, you know, like they're still thinking about me. They don't want me to go out there and expose what we've been working on or what I've been working on. So I ended up like taking it as like a little bit of a positive. It was positive. Even though I didn't wrestle that night, I felt the momentum was going my way. A few weeks later, in October, another pleasant surprise. I was sitting at home during the draft, watching the draft on TV.
And the final pick of the 2019 WWE Draft, Monday Night Raw selects Liv Morgan.
Guys, in the NFL, this pick would be called Miss Irrelevant because it's irrelevant about when you get picked. It's what you do with the opportunity. This is a pick of true potential.
That's a great word, potential. Lining up Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan now a part of Monday Night.
Okay, I'm going to Raw. I'm going to Raw. And, you know, it was televised, so it's like a big deal, right? It's a big deal. Like, they want people to know that Liv's going to Raw. And so I took that as a positive as well. I was like, cool. I'm going to debut. Go to Raw. I was back to square one, again, back on Monday Night Raw. But this time, I had someone in my corner.
What did I see in Liv Morgan? A confused kid who can't find her way in life, that has dreams that are defined in her head that she can't articulate or convey to her friends or the masses, but is chasing an indescribable dream that only she herself can truly understand. And there are so many people out there just like that. My daughter is 18 and she always tells me, stop trying to define me. And that's what we, as an entertainment company, try to do. We try to define every character with absolutes. And here is the exception that defines a rule. Because Liv can't be defined. And she doesn't want to be. Because no one that age wants a label placed on them.
I get a FaceTime from Paul Heyman. Tells me, this is your debut. And I'm like, yes, because, none of my pitches worked. None of anyone else's pitches worked. I'm about to debut. What is it? And he, to sum it up, says that I will be crashing Bobby and Lana's wedding and revealing myself as a past secret lover of Lana. The thought process was to re-debut Liv in the biggest way possible.
Marriage is a garden we sow.
When you look at a blank piece of paper and you start writing this stuff out, or now on a computer screen or on your phone, however you write things, I still look at a blank piece of paper. And then you start to put the elements together and then this twist and this turn. And then you see it happen in front of your eyes, and it plays out in front of a live audience with millions watching at home and however many in the arena watching it live, and the oohs and the ahs and the twists and the turns, and it plays out as well as it did. And Liv and Lana delivering the way that they did, that's a high that you get as a writer, director, producer, whatever the title is, that is afforded in the genre of entertainment that to this day I haven't been able to convey to anybody that hasn't lived it themselves.
I got told, you know, we're going with like Liv is undefined. She's an undefined character. As we kept going, I kind of lost more and more sight of who I was supposed to be. I'm getting the most spotlight I've ever gotten since I've been signed. This is not the time to, you know, not look confident or strong on TV, but it was very hard just because I just didn't believe in myself.
Some of you saw the news broken earlier today via WWE social and digital platforms. WrestleMania this year, 2 weeks from Sunday, April 5th, will not be taking place in Tampa, Florida at Raymond James Stadium. Instead, it will emanate live here from WWE's training facility, the WWE Performance Center.
WrestleMania with a crowd in the arena it was supposed to be in was not going to happen anymore because we are not allowed to have an audience. So WrestleMania is completely reworked, and we're having it at the Performance Center with no one there.
I called in to have a little impromptu WrestleMania pre-show match that I just found out about yesterday. I just had a match with Natty, and Natty's always been so helpful and so gracious, and she's a great teacher, you know, so she just gave me my first WrestleMania victory. So it's pretty sweet. It doesn't even feel real. It doesn't even feel real. I'm just thankful. It's cool. When I think about how far I've come, I think that's what just keeps me so grateful, and I think it keeps me like grateful to a fault a little bit, you know? I'm just happy to have my dream job. It's always worth it, I feel like. It's always worth it because it's the journey, you know? This is the journey. I mean, I guess some people would like showing up and then just being pushed to the destination, you know what I mean? Like I'm showing up and I think I'm crawling. I'm crawling to the destination. It's gonna be a steady crawl and it's gonna be a consistent crawl. It'll keep me moving forward and then eventually I'll be at the finish line. It's consistent and I'm trusting the journey and I'm trusting the process. And I'm gonna crawl. I don't need to run, I'm gonna crawl. But I'm gonna get there and it's gonna be worth it. And it's gonna be earned, so it's all good.
From wrestling in my backyard to the grandest stage at WrestleMania, from the beginning, this journey has always been about one thing. So I do have 4 older brothers, 1 older sister, 1 younger sister. Just really makes, you know, being here so special to me, and I just want to be great and I want to do so well here. I want to make my family proud. They need someone to make them proud. Just really grateful to be here.
The sky's the limit. And she's gonna make it happen. Remember me telling you this. Definitely. It's all you, Gianna. And your family will always love you, no matter what. When Gianna was born, she was born early. She was born at 28 weeks. She's my peanut. It makes me proud that through it all, she made it. She made it. I'm just so proud of her.
For all the challenges in the last year and a half, I was at peace. Sometimes life can be funny, and the answer was right in front of me. My answer? Maybe what I thought was in the past wasn't ready to be in the past. We still had things to prove.
But as of recent, we've been given some time to really show what we mean to each other.
Right back to where I started, kind of. The squad's getting back together. Ruby and I, at least. I mean, Sarah's always going to be a squad.
calling it the Riot Squad without Sarah seems wrong in some way, but at the same time, I know Sarah is supportive of anything that we do.
Ladies, a little help, please.
And I know that now that we are being given the ball, that they're never going to see it again. Because Liv and I are too hungry to let the Riot Squad fall through the cracks of history. Like, we're not letting that happen again.
What would 26-year-old Gianna say to 6-year-old Gianna?
I'd say, like, relax. Be a kid. Because whether you know it or not, you're gonna do everything that you wanted to do. So be a kid. Don't be scared to, smile, make friends, be social, have fun. It doesn't always need to be the weight of the world on your shoulders. And you're gonna do great things. You're gonna do great things. And most importantly, you're gonna grow up to be a good person. And you're gonna have everything that you wanted.
In the last 18 months, I have grown. I am more patient, more confident. Through the highs and lows, I am still that little girl with a dream to save my family, to break the cycle, to be a success. Liv Morgan is here, forever.
Riot Squad's gonna make history. We are going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. Ideally, one day with Sarah again, after she's busy, being an amazing mom. We are going to be something somebody remembers, whether they like it or not.
So this all has kind of come like full circle in a weird way. I started this journey with the Riot Squad, and I'm kind of ending this odd chapter with the Riot Squad. There's no way I'd do anything that I didn't believe in. And now I feel like I have a refresh, because now I'm back at my starting point. I have a rare opportunity to rewrite history. I'm right back to where I started. So now where I go from here, I can make it whatever I want it to be.